So in part 4 we're going to look at completing the square, which if you've been watching these videos you've actually already used. So x squared equals 9. Hopefully you can solve that now and you wouldn't fall for the trap. You'd remember that it has two solutions, so you'd get x equals 3 and minus 3. Hopefully you can apply it to solve this as well, where you'd get x plus 1 equals plus or minus 4. And if you remember, we used this method in order to come up with a way of solving any quadratic, because if we got it into a bracket squared, we could do that. And it gave us a formula that we used in part 3 and applied very quickly to solve equations. Now, if you cast your mind back to part 2, we completed the square from here to here. Now that may have seemed tricky at the time, but we're going to go through that skill in real detail and use it in a range of scenarios now, because it's so powerful a technique. So, let's look at expanding some brackets. Because if we're going to try and put things into brackets to make it into a square, to complete the squared, you're going to have to be able to expand nice and quick. So, if I expand these brackets, I get x squared plus 2x plus 1. Pause if you want to do these for yourself. The second one. Okay, so a good mathematician, and you all are out there, you're now trying to find a pattern to see if you can predict the answer for the next one. Well, if you have sat there and tried to predict, you're probably looking at the next one thinking it's the following. X squared plus 6x plus 9. And I'm going to try and help you out here. Next one. Okay, by now I think that some of you have definitely spotted a pattern. 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 3 to 6, 4 to 8. It's doubling, isn't it? So if we took the general one with a here, we expect this to be 2a. 1 to 1, 2 to 4, 3 to 9, 4 to 16. Well, you're squaring here, so let's square the a. There we go. So now we could take one of these and expand it super quick. So if we had x plus 7 squared, you would say that's x squared, you'd say 14x, and you'd say 49. Double it, square it. Boom. Okay, let's try and work this backwards now. So, they square to make the number on the end, and they double to make the middle number. And this is only at the moment when we've got an x squared by itself at the start. So, what does this one become? Well done, it's x plus 5. Yeah, x plus 10. We've kept everything positive so far, and integers, to keep it easy. Let's look at the next one. Remember to pause if you need more time. They add to make 1. When you half that, you get half. Let's check that it makes a quarter. Half times a half, using our rules of fractions, is a quarter. So here again, squared, x straight away because we've got this, minus 8, so we need minus 4. Let's check it makes 16. Minus 4 times minus 4, yes it does. So we're starting to spot a pattern for some quick completing the square, putting it into the square bracket. Well, if it's always this simple, I think we'll be all right. So, the top one, got a 6 there, so you're thinking 3 in the bracket. Check the 9. Yes, that's correct. Well done. Let's do the next one. 6 here, so you're thinking x plus 3. And you square 3 to get 9 and... oh, hang on. Right, this one's not as simple as it looks. So, we want 9, but we've got 10. I can't put a minus 1 in here, because that would give me plus 2, which won't give me these. What I've got to do is put a plus 1 on the end. So the bracket definitely makes this term, and it definitely makes this term, and then we look at the last term and we place some kind of adjustment on the end if needed. Okay, so next up, 3x. So it's x and it's going to be 1.5. I'll write it as 1.5 squared. Now 1.5 squared is not 17. Do 15 times 15 and you get 225. So this is 2.25. But I want 17. So I need to add on some more here to get up to 17 from 2.25. I need to add 14 would take me to 16.25, and then a 0.75 does the rest. Okay, hopefully you're starting to grow in confidence at this stage. The next one, so it's x squared. We've got 1.4, so it's 0.7. 0.7 squared, or 7 times 7 is 49. So this is 0.49. We know it's not 4.9 because 1 times 1 would be 1. So it's got to be lower than that. So we want 0.72 and we've got 0.49. So I'm going to add on 0.23. So what we've just gone through is how to complete the square. Now we've got using it to solve difficult equations to come. We've also got some difficult completing the square to look at. So let's summarise. We expanded a set of brackets to come up with a rule, which was when you expand this, the middle term is twice this number, and the end term is this number squared. And then we can use that to go what's half of this and check the last number. It works with positives, negatives, and with fractions. We then said, what happens if it doesn't fit in the bracket? Well, we put an adjustment on the end. So we make sure we get the first two from the bracket. We calculate the last number squared and then put any adjustment on the end. So in part 5, we're going to use this to solve, and then we'll tackle the hard ones. Time to practice just completing the square for now.